Okay, so this lesson is to practice using the pattern of the 45, 45, 90 triangle. And that pattern looks like this. If I have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, we have these legs and we have the hypotenuse, but notice that the legs are always going to be congruent. Okay, so it's always going to be like this. We're going to have the leg, and those two will always be the same. And then the hypotenuse is always going to be leg, radical 2. So it's leg, 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 radical 2. That's how it goes for a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay, so looking at problem number 1 here, we have a leg, and this will be the leg, and this will be leg, radical 2. So since the leg is 6, then that means the other leg will be 6, and so this should be 6 radical 2. All right, leg, 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 radical 2. 6, 6, 6 radical 2. Same thing for problem number 2 with a twist. Remember, it goes like this. We should have the leg, and this other leg should be the same, and then this should be leg, radical 2. But look, in this case, the leg is 9 radical 2. So first of all, if one leg is 9 radical 2, then the other leg should be 9 radical 2. Okay, so there's that. Now the hypotenuse should be leg, radical 2. So be careful, because what's the leg? Because I should have leg, radical 2. So let me go ahead and write the radical 2 down. So whatever is the leg, I should put here in front of this radical 2. But look, the leg is 9 radical 2. Let me change colors to make a point. So what I should have is 9 radical 2, because that's the leg. Okay? So it's leg, 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 radical 2. So that's 9 radical 2, 9 radical 2, and 9 radical 2, radical 2. So there's 2 radical 2's here. Now I know in my mind that that's going to be 18, but I could put this in my calculator. 9 radical 2, like this. 9 radical 2, get out of there, radical 2. Okay, and that is going to be 18. So for the record, the reason why I knew that was going to be 18, if I could just do that off to the side for a second. Look guys, if I have 9 radical 2, radical 2, anytime you multiply a radical by itself, the number comes out. So radical 2 times radical 2 is 2. If I bring down the 9, that's 9 times 2. That's how I knew in my head that it was going to be 18. If you understood that, great. Otherwise, just use your calculator. Okay, moving on. So x was 18. That's the end. I guess I should write that down. So this gives us 18. Okay, so that's the value of x. Now this one over here, got to be careful. This time they're giving us the hypotenuse. Alright, so just remember that this should be in the form of leg, and this is a leg, and this should be leg, radical 2. Leg radical 2, 9 radical 2. Guess what? The leg must be 9. Okay? Get rid of that little guy. Yeah, so looking at how the leg is in the same spot as the 9, so the leg has to be 9. Okay, so that means this must be 9. This is 9 also, by the way. Okay, but x is 9. So that's number 3. Let's take a look at number 4. Alright, this is pretty straightforward. Leg, leg, leg radical 2 12, 12, 12, radical 2. Okay, nothing to that one. Back to number 5. This should be leg, leg, and this should be leg radical 2. Okay, but that means leg radical 2 must equal 8. Alright, let's focus on that for a second. Let me bring that down. Leg radical 2 must equal 8. So if I want to solve this for the leg, I'm just going to divide both sides by radical 2. So divide by radical 2, divide by radical 2. Alright, so that's going to give me leg equals, if I put this in my calculator, it looks like this, 8 over radical 2, I'm going to get 4 radical 2. So that's 4 radical 2. So the leg is 4 radical 2. That means x equals 4 radical 2. Alright, because the x's are the legs. Let's look at number 6. Alright, this is just like number 3. Okay, this is leg, leg, and leg radical 2. Leg radical 2, 5 radical 2. Guess what? The leg must be 5. So that means that x is 5. Okay, and this is 5 also, by the way. 5, 5, 5 radical 2. Alright, number 7. Same thing. Leg, leg, leg radical 2. Alright, the leg must be 7. That means x is 7 and y is 7. Both legs are the same. Okay, so because it was 7, 7, 7 radical 2. Alright, looking at number 8. Okay, I've got 14. Alright, this is a square, you know, with both sides showing, but this is 14. So that means this must be 14, obviously. All the sides must be 14 because it's a square. So it's going to be 14, 14, and then 14 radical 2. Okay, so x equals 14 and y equals 14 radical 2. Alright, number 9. Basically the same thing. Again, this is a square. So this is 9, 9. So this will be 9 and that'll be 9. So that means y equals 9. Then of course the hypotenuse will be 9 radical 2. Okay, so x equals 9 radical 2 and y equals 9. Alright, and last but not least, number 10. Find the area of a square with a 36-inch diagonal. Okay, let's see. They mentioned a square, so I feel like we should draw one. Okay, here is a square. Here is the diagonal, like this. Okay, there's a square and its diagonal. This is supposed to be a 36-inch diagonal. That means that this is 36 inches. Okay, if this is a square, then obviously that is a right angle, but also this is a 45-degree angle. Half of 90, it's 45. So this is a 45-45 right triangle. So I should be able to find the missing sides the same way that we've been doing. So let's find the leg. So whatever this is a leg, that's a leg, and this should be leg radical 2. So look, leg radical 2 equals 36. So let's do that off to the side. So here we go. Leg radical 2 equals 36 inches. If I divide both sides by radical 2, alright, and I could put that in my calculator, that's going to give me leg equals 18 radical 2. Now, is that the answer to the question? Do I just put a box around this, call it a day? No, I do not. I have to pay attention to what they're asking me for. This problem says find the area of the square that has this diagonal. Okay, fine. So now I've found the legs. So since now I know the legs are 18 radical 2, then maybe I'll actually erase these and put them in. So those were the legs, but now I know that the legs are 18 radical 2. Okay, so that's the base and the height of this square. So how do I find the area of a square? Okay, I could either think of it as just base squared, or I could do base times height. Either way, so the area is going to be 18 radical 2 times 18 radical 2. Okay, I could put that in my calculator, couldn't I? Alright, so that's going to be 18 radical 2. Whoa, I messed up. Start over. 18 radical 2. Get out of there. Close the parentheses. Open the parentheses. 18 radical 2. Get out of there. Close the parentheses. So 18 radical 2 times 18 radical 2, 648. Okay, so the area is 648, and for area, it's going to be inches squared, square inches. Alright, and that is how you do problems like number 10. That's it for the homework.